shockwave effects.
Yes, exactly. This is the problem.
So he's just saying that if a starship launches, it will, like, deafen everybody on Earth? Because he said no degree of no separation will be safe enough.
Jesus Christ.
So a starship loss is 220 decibels.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Saw Bomber was 200 decibels, and everyone can still hear. And that circled the Earth twice.
Oh my god. Okay, sound... I want to see, what was Ares 5's sound level? Because, like, with the 5.5 segments and all the RS-68s, it has to be at least comparable. Cause,
I think it's like a 20% improvement over SLS.
Wait, listen to this. Oh my god, wait, I found a good thing and then it disappeared.
No, it would only be about 150 or so decibels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, for... Oh, Jesus. Okay, wait, no, this is not... I found something, but it's not.
Okay. Alright.
There's, like, direct measurements here. I found... It's measurements of SLS that show that over, like, 3 kilometers, the sound drops off almost 10 decibels.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Alright.
At minimum, at 194 decibels, there would need to be 2,100 kilometers of separation between the source and the listener to achieve the 70 decibel discomfort benchmark.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Rockets launch at that level, and it's like people aren't deaf. Like, you know why I think he blocked out between the 110 and 194? Because that's the level that SLS occupies, and SLS does not match with this at all.
And Shuttle in Saturn V.
Exactly. So if everyone could see that, you could see that his numbers are obviously bullshit.
In a marine environment, noise travels further and 5 times faster than through air.
What?
And SPLs can reach much higher than 194 decibels. 270 decibels, or over 2 million times greater than the acceptable volume of sound.
So, 270 decibels, that's pretty loud. Then why didn't we all hear it?
Has been replicated in a lab. All marine mammals will be affected by these levels of launch noise.
All marine mammals.
Whales, orcas,
Jesus
dolphins,
Christ.
porpoises. Actually, every animal on this chart of cetaceans will be at risk.
Will be at risk,
and so will seals, sea lions, and every other pinniped on this
That's
chart.
crazy. That's crazy.
The manatees that recently came off the endangered list in the U.S.
I'm
overwhelmed by background centers of whales.
I'm going to skip that because it's
Navy
just him
sonar
guilt tripping. But I have a point. I have a real thing I'd like to demonstrate very quickly. Okay. Here. Watch. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Look at the Zenit. It just killed all the fish.
Let's go.
This is why Russian engines are better. They kill all the fish at launch. God, like when such an obvious historical example exists, and it doesn't.
Sea Dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally any missile test from a submarine.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't, first of all, your first clue that you're wrong would be that there are SLBMs at all. Like, a submarine-launched ballistic missile, when it fires, if you are correct, the crew should be fried. But they aren't, and they conduct demonstrations, think! Think, CSS, think!
measuring between 140 and 170 decibels,
Wow.
is capable of killing whales. So to have an underwater sonic pressure wave measuring...
Wow.
Also,
yeah.
Sea Dragon would have been like 15 times stronger than Starship.
1 kerbillion fish dead.
hundreds of
We
times...
should just lead a blue whale to Boca Chica for science. Just to prove a point.
God. It will 100% die because of, I don't think the place in Boca Chica is meant for whales, but,
Just put it in the deluge tanks.
Exactly. Put a blue whale in the deluge tank. Beautiful.
I'm pretty sure you could
Louder
ask
than
SeaWorld for
will
help.
be absolutely devastating,
God.
leading to die-offs and mass strandings.
Mass
And it
strandings.
won't just be the sea mammals. These extreme sonic conditions will also kill off fish, decimate zooplankton populations,
Decimate zooplankton.
and the generated shockwaves could shatter coral reefs.
Wow.
But hey, you needed to get to Shanghai in 30 minutes or less, right?
You need
Well,
to. Oh my God.
All the coral reefs 20 miles off the coast of Texas.
If it's true, but also if he said to reach the sound level, that's it's impossible. But it's like, then you're saying like, as you said, Starship's launch would create such a sound that it would circulate the Earth over. Then I guess the Great Barrier Reef's gone. Guys, has anyone checked on the Great Barrier Reef after IFT2? Is it gone now?
Splash, it's definitely not going to be a 30-minute trip regardless. Not even close.
Isn't going to be a 30-minute trip. Okay, let's see this. I want
Time
to
to
see
put
this.
Musk's claims of trips only taking between 30 and 60 minutes under the microscope.
Hold on. Atlas ICBM. Let's see. How many hours did it take the SM-65 to deliver a payload? How long? Sorry. I can't find it anywhere, but I know it's under an hour. I think it's
It's under 50 minutes, definitely.
yeah. I think in some cases it's only it's under 30. Can we find this?
The only limiting factor with nuclear payload delivery is just not having it melt on the way there, so they would just be as fast as possible.
Yeah.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah, Timberwind, I know for a fact, Timberwind was missile sniping, but it was under, 5. You can definitely.
Now we're going to compare these trips as he does against the prospect of a trip on an airline between
Oh,
two
boy!
points.
Wait, I found it.
Fact.
I found it. It's 43 minutes.
43 minutes.
It's
43 minutes. Anywhere in the world in 43 minutes. I think that's okay. And considering that they have an entire Super Heavy, an entire ship, which they can expend, the whole almost 8.3 kilometers per second on to get to land, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it says elapsed time for a flight of 6788 miles is 43 minutes.
43 minutes. Good lord.
We used the very trip advertised in his animation, from New York to Shanghai, China.
Okay.
As seen here, this is a trip that can be purchased
Need to factor in the extra hour for 50 boats violating the range. Thanks, Leo.
online as a non-stop flight, taking around 15 hours.
Okay. God, oh my God, nope. That's it. Perigee is in.
Now there's point-to-point travel.
There we go. Okay. Thanks. All right, then why aren't you on? Add-ons. Yes. Here.
Oh, it's because you're in a private tab.
There we go. Okay, it's on now.
And we're going to compare these trips as he does against the prospect of a trip on an airline between 2 points.
Okay.
In fact, we will use the very trip
I like how he used an image of an A380 Plus, considering that it's like it doesn't exist.
advertised in his animation, from New York to Shanghai, China.
Someone in the chat said this. You have to assume time such as deceleration and fueling and scrubs. Even if you called it 2 hours, it would be faster than airlines by a factor of 10. I'm sure he's going to get into this in the video, but, from the static fire, we saw Super Heavy fuel in under 30 minutes. We saw Super Heavy go from, just fueling to firing in under 30 minutes. I'm gonna discount the possibility of scrubs, because I think, once you're planning to launch Starship 100 times a year, which is very possible, by the way, you know the ins and outs of the system.
That's also assuming they don't make a shorter booster, just for point-to-point travel as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So then your fueling time is even less.
Yeah, exactly. Good lord.
As seen here, this is a trip that can be purchased online as a non-stop flight, taking around 15 hours.
God, all of those prices. I'm never gonna get to fucking explore the world, man. God, it's over for me.
The SpaceX animation shows people loading up on a ferry, leaving the island of Manhattan at 6:30 a.m.
Boo, make it a train, make it a train, make it a train, that's so much better.
For a 7 a.m. departure. In fact, the animation shows the boat leaving from the Trade Center Ferry Terminal right by One World Trade on Manhattan.
Jesus Christ.
At the end of the trip, when it lands in Shanghai, it's 7:39 p.m. The next day, of course, since they would have crossed the international date line. The ferry is shown arriving at a launch platform within view of the New York skyline.
Okay.
But Musk said they needed 20 miles, or 32 kilometers from shore, to suppress the noise involved.
Also, may I point out that Atlas number? 43 minutes for 6,800 miles, and the distance between New York and Shanghai is 7,400.
Yeah. Yeah.
49 is very doable.
Good lord, man. Yeah, he's like, and actually they said, yeah, exactly. Thank you, chat. It's a fucking, it's a fucking concept animation. Yeah, you know what else? You know what else is unrealistic in this animation? That little barge there that doesn't fit 3,400 tons of fuel, let alone the 5,000 needed for a whole Starship stack. Use your mind, CSS, please. Would it really be fun if they just showed them, on a boat for 10 minutes, going out into the middle of nowhere, the boat comes back, then it just launches from the middle of the ocean? No, you want it to look cool, so you put the skyline in there.
I think he wants a feature-length animation just demonstrating the whole process.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a flat earther, man. He's like a flat earther. It's actually, it didn't show the whole process. It didn't show the satellite going all the way up to geostationary orbit, so, it's not real.
Involved with the launch. The closest point to the ferry launch, which is 32 kilometers from land, is heading out to sea, and well over the horizon from Long Beach.
Okay.
From sea level, the platform would not be visible from shore. That point is about 70 kilometers or 38 knots from the ferry pier. Most ferries have a speed between 12 and 20 knots, so the boat ride will take between 2 and 3 hours just to get from the ferry pier to the launch platform.
Okay.
According to the New York City Department of Transportation, the Staten Island ferries, for example, have a service speed of 16 knots.
The Staten Island ferries. Ah, yes, the pinnacle of boat design.
Which very well known for long-form transport.
And definitely meant to get you there fast and not for sightseeing.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Upon arrival, passengers will then have to make their way to the top side of the launch platform, which is a neat trick because they're not designed to be accessed from the water.
Elevators!
Yes, they are, though.
Where they'll go through security checks if they didn't do them shoreside.
They'll just do them shoreside, man.
And they'll have
or
to
while you're on the boat.
Yeah, exactly.
To get fitted for launch suits.
You'll need to get fitted for? No, CSS, you won't.
It's a 50-minute trip.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but first of all, you're not going to be wearing pressure suits because nobody sane would enforce that regulation. And then
by the time that you have enough faith in Starship to be using it for regular point-to-point travel, it's going to be reliable enough that you won't need pressure suits.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. And second of all, you don't need to get custom fitted anymore. AXEMU, the Axiom's lunar suit, is not custom fitted. It is a sized thing. It's not custom fitted anymore.
You could even be like a little uncomfortable because it's under an hour trip.
Exactly. Would you rather sit with your clothes being a little tight for 30 minutes, or would you rather wait in the TSA line for an hour?
Helmets, and diapers for the trip. Yes, we are going to assume that these people need every precaution given every other person that has been launched into space on a rocket.
The way that people have been launched to space for a long time is stupid. Comparing it is stupid, because, say it with me now, you aren't going to orbit for a prolonged period of time. You aren't even going to be in 0G. Because obviously, if you're doing a Starship thing, it's going to have like 1,000+ seats in it to make the cost viable. But so you're not going to feel 0G. You're going to be strapped into the goddamn thing, and it's going to take 30 minutes. So you don't need astronaut training for that.
And you don't need a diaper because you can just not piss yourself for an hour.
Yeah.
The absorbency garment is only for launch while you're still on the launch pad. Even Soyuz has a toilet, to my knowledge.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. Dragon has a toilet, we all know that because of lay funny Twitter memes. But...
The full $180,000 flight suit, complete with airtight helmets and the ability to crap themselves when the craft is pulling 3 Gs on liftoff. These suits are complex enough that not even the astronauts who want to board
also,
the Crew
the number he used for suit cost is not for the SpaceX suit. He took it straight from, I think it was the Orion suit.
Oh my god. CSS, please, man.
Are able to dress themselves.
They are not able to, yes, because they are going to orbit for multiple days, up to 6 months at a time.
They were dressed and squared away by a clean crew, who also secured them in their capsule in their reclined positions. Shotwell said there were 100 people per flight planned. Musk has...
He lied. He lied. Look at that, everyone. He circled the numbers. He lied. Yeah, makes a little bit more sense.
Stated up to 1,000 per flight, but we don't think Musk understands what 1,000 people looks like. This is what 1,000 people looks like.
Yes. Here's what Starship looks like.
It's like that that thing the other day about the gravitics module, which with 20 people standing in a circle and smaller than stuff.
Here we go. This is what a Starship cabin looks like.
Like how there's a standing cabin.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Put them in Ryanair. Ryanair pricing.
Easily get 4,000 people into a Starship.
Exactly.
So we'll stick with Shotwell's number, because even suiting up 100 people will be...
Yes, they aren't going to be suited up. That's the thing. You've carried this idiotic assumption that you need it. Because, if point-to-point is even going to happen at all, it is going to be because Starship is so reliable and so quick that it doesn't matter. That it will happen because, I think this is another thing that SpaceX is anticipating, it's going to be because there isn't enough capacity for Starships to be doing other things, so they need more Starships flying. That's what they're anticipating here. This isn't just a day one thing. It's we need to reach our maximum launch cadence, and then we can start doing this.
Be a process that takes hours. Let's lowball it and say they can do 5 at 100 people suited up. Then they'll have to go up the launch tower elevator in groups to the only access port on the craft and get secured into their launch crate.
Why does there have to be one access port?
Yeah. What? Second of all, why groups? Why groups? Why not just make a big elevator? You have 9 meters. You have 9 meters of space, minimally, if you're going to make a Starship volume elevator. You can fit, maybe 2 groups. 2 groups of, 500 people in a 9 meter by 9 meter elevator. Like, that's fine.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me figure out the words. By the time they're doing point to point, they will know how to stack Starship and Super Heavy so well. Why not just have the people put in and then stack the rocket as well?
There is an elevator in Mumbai that can carry 235 people at once.
Exactly. Come on, man.
And it's 25 meters squared on like the floor area.
Oh my god, that's just 5 meters by 5 meters. That scales up.
You'd be surprised how many people you can fit into an elevator if you've ever been to Disneyland.
Yeah, Jesus.
Reclined position. After they are secured, guests will not be allowed to leave this seat until the craft lands at the destination.
Okay, true.
There will be no window seats, no
Yes,
snacks,
that's true.
no
That's
bathroom
true.
breaks, no medical
That's
attention
true.
available, no...
Jesus Christ.
Because it's an hour.
Yeah. There will be no medical attention available. First of all, likely if they try to operate this like an airline, they're going to have federal marshals aboard, right? But second of all, that's the law. They will have to have that. By the law.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
emergency abort system, no emergency landing system.
Yeah, of course.
Just you strapped into this giant baby seat, sealed inside an...
Giant baby seat. Dude, we need to put CSS in a dragon and then see how he freaks out. Like, we need to send him to space. You know what? No. CSS for Starliner Crew Flight 1. We need to put him on Starliner Crew Flight 1. Bye-bye,
just take out the abort system and just put him in the Gemini abort chair during the launch.
Oh my god. Send him to space in Gemini. Bye-bye, Venus Art. See ya.
airtight suit with whatever smells you happen to make. Oh, and there's no barf bags either.
This is just stupid. Can we all agree here? This is just a stupid fear-mongering tactic. That's not reasonable. Like,
It's just anti-space bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what are you... Like, this is literally just CSS saying, oh, what are you gonna do? You gonna cry? You gonna piss your pants, huh? You gonna shit your pants, you little bitch baby going to space, huh? You gonna shit your pants? Like, dude!
Now that the guests have been shuttled, screened, suited up, and squared away, the airlock hatch is secured and they're all set to launch.
Thank God.
Right after they fuel up the rocket.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Who says fueling has to happen after they're on board?
Oh my god. This is an image of, like, what was this, SN4? I don't remember. Is this, like, SN4 that popped? Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do this as a gag from this point on. Anytime forward he makes a gaffe about Starship reliability, I'm just gonna pull up footage. I'm just gonna pull up the footage from IFT2.
That's right, this isn't an airplane where the airplane arrives at the gate fully fueled and ready to go.
An airplane does not...
Why not? If people are going out there in 30 minutes on a boat, what? V10 filled up in just over 30 minutes the other day.
Yeah. Oh my god. First of all, it does not arrive at the gate fully fueled, CSS. The airplane, it arrives empty. Because it just did a flight, common sense skeptic.
Standard SOP for rocket launches is that the vehicle is fueled just before takeoff, a process that for the shuttle...
Yes, my friend, it is the standard procedure, and they're going to change the standard procedure. Because the standard procedure is stupid.
The shuttle took 3 hours to load up the 700 tons of propellant. The rates are similar for Dragon and Crew Dragon. The Starship by itself takes 1,200 tons, so that would take 5 hours to fill at the same rate per hour. Then the Super Heavy takes another 3,400 tons. So
completely different fuel.
They're going to figure out a way to pump the fuel at twice the rate as current technology.
Yes. They did.
Yeah, that's...
Like, sorry.
That's like extremely solvable.
Yeah. Here's the gag. Here's the gag. We're gonna do the gag. There we go. Holy shit, guys! They figured out how to do it.
That is still going to take 10 hours to fuel up the system after the launch facility has been completely evacuated.
Yeah. Okay.
You're flying on a
What
rocket
prevents
from
them
point
from
A
building
to
a
point
rubber room for staff, just to
Nothing.
streamline it?
Nothing. Nothing prevents this.
B. If you're on a plane and you needed to wait for an available runway at the destination or for
Okay.
weather to pass, the plane has the ability and fuel reserves to circle the outer markers until such
Yeah.
time as runways become available.
Yep.
A rocket will be moving in a straight line, and if
Yes.
conditions change at either the launch site or the landing site, they can't circle back, pick an alternate destination.
Wrong. It can. It can. If shit starts going wrong midway through flight, you know what they can do? Yes, guys, have you ever heard of pointing a rocket in a different direction? You can target another launch site and you can just fold it over backwards and you can go back to the original site. I know this
Or
is
just
so fun. Sorry, Zoe.
It's also like how much, like, it's an hour. It's less than an hour flight time. Like, you can predict the weather an hour ahead.
I would say, like...
Oh my god, shut up. I don't like you. F9 boost back. Here we go. Guys, I know this is real. Again, I know, like... Hold on, where is it? Where's the boost back? Oh my god. They figured out how to...
Also, he just completely assumes that Starship has 0 cross range.
Yeah, like, Starship doesn't have great cross range, but boy, does it have cross range. It's not a lot of cross range, it's not a plane, but yeah, no, you could be about a kilometer off axis and be fine. The source KSP.
Or circle the landing area until conditions improve. So those guests will be situated in the cabin until such time as both sites are cleared for launch, hoping the flight...
Both sites are cleared for launch? Why would you need to clear both sites for launch? You don't need to clear both sites for launch.
doesn't get scrubbed, which,
Okay.
of course, some of them will. And when that happens,
Some of them will be scrubbed. No, they won't. No. No.
the guests will have to wait for the fuel
Also,
to
like, flights
offload,
get delayed.
Yeah, flights get delayed. What's your
get
point?
released from their cradles, get undressed, and get shipped.
No, they won't. Because, again, Starship... Okay, hold on. In the chat. Starship would not have the Delta V to boost back that much. I disagree. Starship has 8.3 kilometers of Delta V, and that's, like, until I think about, like, you're good until, like, 4 minutes into flight. And 4 minutes into flight is where all the problem areas would arise. Because that's when you have the most staging events. That's when you have super heavy ignition, hot staging, all that. Starship would have the Delta V for the most part.
Shipped back to
Could
shore
you
to
imagine
track-
seeing Starship and Super Heavy boost back to the launch site at the same time, though? In that scenario?
That would be amazing, but unfortunately,
Just land the ship right on top of the booster.
exactly.
Instant stacking.
Again. But if both sites are clear and the vehicle launches,
Okay.
these guests will hear a deafening roar that they are hopefully insulated enough away from
Jesus
that they don't
Christ,
lose their
dude.
hearing.
Jesus
Shortly
Christ.
afterwards, they will begin to feel themselves pressed into their cradle as if they weighed over 500 pounds due to increasing G-forces being applied to their body.
Yeah.
The Space Shuttle astronauts experienced 3 Gs of force, and Crew Dragon astronauts experienced 4.
So.
Which is well within what normal people can sustain.
Exactly. And the other thing is, for general commercial use, there's this really cool concept. You know what you can do? You can throttle. And Starship can throttle, because it lands.
4 Gs during takeoff. These are similar forces to a carnival attraction called the reverse bungee,
Yes.
which launches people into the air with 3 to 5 Gs acting on the riders.
Yeah.
The ability to withstand G-forces varies by individual. Some will handle the forces without issue, some will get dizzy, some will black right out. And there is no
Okay,
Which
guys.
is fine because you're safely strapped into a seat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom, guys. I will be right back.
have no idea if that appeared on stream. I have both of them muted.
I heard it.
Okay, good. How do we fill our time? What did we do?
I don't know. I just feel like 90% of these points are just him making up bullshit. Just like
Absolutely.
assuming stuff.
$35 isn't even that much.
Alright, I'm back. Let's go.
Also,
Shortage of video.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
sorry, I finally found what I had been looking at before about sound levels.
Yeah.
Some people reported Saturn V being as high as 235 decibels.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. Oh my god, I've literally been put in a centrifuge that pulled 3G for an extended period of time. You know who else was there? Literal children. Thank you, Leo. Exactly. Exactly. There we go. Oh my god. Dude. Please, CSS. Please.
Video of people of all ages passing out cold due to being on these rides. Travelers will be experiencing all those same forces in reverse again when the ship has to flip around to land tail first using propulsive rockets.
No, they won't. They will not feel the moment.
Unfortunately, people with underlying medical conditions who react poorly to these forces will not be able to receive medical attention until the craft has landed.
They won't be allowed to fly.
Yeah, so just don't fly people who have, like, medical freaking...
Yeah, like...
It's the same reason they don't let pregnant people go on roller coasters.
Exactly! Oh my god! Oh my god! Like, those... Yeah, exactly! They're amusement park rides! This will probably be subject to similar regulation!
Is secured, and the patient can be evacuated through the airlock, down the elevator, and then taken ashore by boat or medevac flight.
Yes.
If all goes well, an hour later, the rocket will land on the receiving pad.
Yep.
Once the rocket is secured, the remaining fuel
Not an hour! He lies again.
offloaded and the hatch opened, the guests would disembark, strip out of their pressure suits, presumably have a shower if they soiled themselves through this process, and hop onto a ferry to take them to the closest marina, which is 40 kilometers from downtown Shanghai.
Oh my god, yeah. Yes, exactly.
So let's tally up all the time this has already taken. 2 to 3 hours to ferry from Manhattan to the launch pad.
There you go. Just done. No.
Instantly wrong.
4. 2 to 3 hours getting suited up for the flight. 2 to
Uh-huh.
3 hours getting secured in the craft,
No.
including the suit leak
I like how he says 2 to 3. Bet he just adds all those threes together.
checks that are mandatory.
Yeah.
3 to 10 hours.
3 to 10
What?
hours. 3 to 10. To 10. Once again, booster 10, static fire took, I don't know, how many minutes did you say it was, Zoe?
Someone said, like, 30... I think it was, like, just over 30, like, 36.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fueling the vehicle.
36 minutes.
A minimum of 1 hour time in the air.
No, not a minimum of 1 hour time in the air, because, again, as we said before, ICBM numbers, it's like... I love the comments from Skeptic. He's such a smart guy.
2 to 3 hours debarking the vehicle and prepping for shuttle. 2 to 3 hours to shuttle back into the marina. And another hour to get transportation into Shanghai.
One
Time-
minimum.
There's
No.
no way to build another ferry port closer to downtown Shanghai.
Yeah. Phazzee.
Build
you're
a bullet train.
Yeah. You're the China lore person, all right? You know the lore. Could you
Yeah,
please
there's a
explain
bullet
to me
train.
that it is in fact very possible to build a train?
Yeah, they love. There's thousands of kilometers of like 300 kilometer an hour trains. They will build one if the demand is there.
Yeah.
Elapsed
Jesus Christ.
ranges from 15 hours to over 27.
15 hours to 27 hours. No, you're lying. You are lying. It is very simple.
Not a single one of those numbers does not have a false,
Yeah.
false assumption.
Yep. Okay. So, guys, let's do the math. All right? First of all, ferry from Manhattan to launch site. How much did he say? He said 20 miles. All right. First of all, second of all, okay, let's do that. So 20 minutes. Let's see. Let's look at this thing. What is it? I don't know. Commercial boat speed. Let's do the 15 to 20 knots. Wow, that's funny. You know what that is? That's a lot more than the 16 you were using before. All right. Knots to MPH calculator. This assumes, by the way, that they use a train. So, 25 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour. So, let's be generous, just say 43, right? 43 minutes. Heavily stacked estimate, because this assumes that they don't build any infrastructure. All right? 28 miles an hour.
Well, there's passenger ferries that can go 52 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
This also assumes they will only ever build it at sea.
Oh my god, yeah. So, okay, 43 minutes, all right? Let's yeah.
That's a lot less than 2 to 3 hours.
Coastal land. You could build a starship, like, point-to-point port.
Yeah, exactly.
Dozens of places on the planet. There's a lot of nothing in Australia just to do that.
Unfortunately, I am getting worked up over CSS. Okay, so 43 minutes, suiting up 100 passengers. No, they will not be getting suited up. But let's call it 30 minutes, because that is more than generous enough. All right, getting secured in cabin. Let's call it an hour, because I'm feeling generous. All right, fueling the craft. This is where he's lying. Let's call it an hour. All right. So far.
I mean, if Booster 10 was fueled up in 36 minutes, that's like less than an hour if you add in Starship.
Yeah, exactly. But let's be fair. We're dealing with a disgusting liar. So let's cater to that disgusting liar for a bit. By the way, just a little thrown out there for all those in the audience who don't know, CSS defended slavery. All right, back to our normally scheduled programming. Okay, so 2 hours, 30 minutes, 43 minutes. So far, we're looking at a time of 3 hours. That's cool, but that's the amount of time you spend at the airport. Actually, let's look that up. A380 time to load passengers. Average time per passenger, 1.95 seconds. 1.695 times. Hold on.
I mean, it's just like, there's no reason the boarding should be significantly slower than boarding boarding a passenger aircraft, which takes well under an hour.
Yeah, so...
And boarding passenger aircraft is already horribly inefficient.
Yeah. They just have to watch CGP Grey. And it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 hour.
So there's no reason that you couldn't have an elevator that has multiple connections to the Starship on different levels, so you can board 5 people at once.
Exactly. Oh my god. So then, 1 hour minimum flight time. No, let's do the ICBM time, because that's still, because we're being favorable. Let's say another 40 minutes. And then securing craft and debarking. No, that's not. We're just going to add... Let's just add another hour and then another 43 minutes. In total, this experience takes 5 hours about.
Which is 1/3 of just the flight time on a normal plane between New York and Shanghai.
Yeah, let's see. New York to Shanghai.
That's about what London to New York was on Concorde, including boarding.
Here we go. Look at this. 35 hours, 10 minutes.
That's with stops though. The non-stop is 20.
With stops, non-stop is 20. However, I'm gonna argue in favor of the with the stops one. With more stops, because because it will be cheaper. That is how the average person will get to Shanghai.
Yeah.
But let's go for the 20 hours. That's 4 times faster. That's 4 times faster. 4 times faster. And you don't think there will be a tiny smidgen of a market for that? Because unlike Concorde, methane is fairly cheap. And also, by the way, let's just say that...
And Concorde's passenger capacity was
tiny.
Yeah.
First of all, yeah, let's say, like, fuel cost is really going to bite into it. It won't. But, like, Raptor 2 and 3 from FAA filings can run on liquid natural gas. They don't have to run pure methane. They can just run on LNG. Like, that'll cut costs.
Or you could, since you're in the ocean, you could take water, electrolyze it, and use it with the hydrogen with CO2 to make fuel at the launch pad in the water.
Exactly. There are ways around this.
7 hours. Meanwhile, and for a fraction of the cost, the person traveling...
And for a fraction of the cost. Notice he did not back that up in the slightest.
First class non-stop, slept in comfort in relative peace, or watched movies in between catered meals with complimentary drink service, and arrived...
Notice that CSS...
The first class ticket price... Yeah. The first class ticket prices he was showing before were like $9,500.
Yeah. Notice how CSS only used the photos with the lay pretty hostess. Yeah, I wonder if he's made any other comments in any other videos that might signify why he's done that.
Arrived in 15 hours to an airport 10 minutes from town. Even in business class on the A380, they should have had no complaints. And the odds of the person taking the plane dying on the flight was 1 in 11 million, where the odds of dying in the Starship, considering there is no ability to abandon ship, would lie somewhere between 1 in 60 and 1 in 276.
That's complete bullshit. That's just, like, that's demo to, like, first flight of Dragon numbers.
Yep.
By the time you'd be doing Starship point to point, you'd have thousands of flights.
Yeah. God. Alright, thanks for letting me know, Phazzee. So, 11 million. 276 chance.
That's the risk of plane crash.
Yeah.
Not just dying randomly on a flight.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So...
His own numbers against him.
God. This is just... 1 in 60. 1 in 60. What's the Falcon 9? Falcon 9 success streak. 234 out of 238. 2, 3, yes, exactly. Jesus fucking Christ. And that includes Amos 6, by the way, which just, no. Oh, that's landing. Sorry. That's landing. Falcon 9 landings already meet the 1 in... Oh, sorry, it's much higher than that. It's 89%. Falcon 9 boosters. The boosters, by the way, this includes the earlier fail ones. 89% landing success. Okay. Thank you, CSS. Thank you, very cool.
In a 2-deck, 3-class seat distribution, this craft hauls 555 persons comfortably, without using flight suits or diapers. As you can see from this same chart, this craft is able to hold a maximum of 254 metric tons of fuel and can make it from New York to Shanghai non-stop.
Okay.
But the Starship would have used the better part of 4,600 tons of fuel for the same trip.
Yep.
1,800% more fuel to deliver less than 20% of the number.
Starship has to bring its own oxygen.
Exactly.
It doesn't use jet engines.
Jesus Christ. He's lying again. He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing where he lies again. First of all, it should be 1,000. Buddy, if you add that on 1,000, I bet, you know what I'm willing to bet, because sometimes I'm going to admit to it, sometimes I do this. He looked at that, and he realized that it was way too viable with 1,000 people. That's the problem. He realized it was way too valuable with 1,000 people. And then, unlike me, where I shut the fuck up and I'm like, actually, I might be wrong, he just said, we'll just change the number. We'll just change the number. It's fine. And actually, the CH4 and LOX, it would be cheaper.
Also, right there, refueling can be carried out in 40 minutes. you take the Starship fueling time, which is like not that much more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Of guests, and they didn't shave a single minute off of the travel time.
I've been everywhere. Okay, buddy.
At the end of the animation, there is a fast-rolling rundown of intended routes and travel times. So what we did is we went
examples. It's an example, not intent.
and freeze-framed every departure destination combo to see how the cities on the list match the necessary criteria for being seaside with 32 kilometers of water between the launch pad and terra firma. Judging from this, they
Why would you need it to be completely water? That's a weird requirement.
definitely did not do their homework.
They definitely didn't. Yeah, and you did. Oh my god.
These port cities will fall into one of three categories. They are either clear to open ocean, they are an inland port, which requires
You know, there's a lot of land around here that doesn't have cities on it. You could just put them there. You could put them there and use a train.
a great deal of additional travel by boat to the launch facility,
Uh-huh.
or they are completely landlocked. So let's go down the list. Hong Kong, inland port. Singapore, inland port.
Yes.
Los Angeles is clear. Toronto is an inland port on the Great Lakes,
Yeah, and also the Canadian government would never let a starship land.
which don't have the width required for 32 kilometers of free space between the launch and the shore. Also, notice Pickering, which is one of the largest power plants in the world with 8 reactors and decades of spent material in close proximity. So this
Yep.
would never get regulatory approval. Bangkok is an inland port.
Because what, a starship's gonna fall perfectly on a nuclear reactor?
Chernobyl 2, baby. God. What does he think? What does he think? Like, Starship is going to directly target the nuclear power plant? Starship reignites its engines, and instead of landing, it throttles itself directly at a nuclear power plant, intent on causing the most destruction possible. And also, even if, I think he said it was retired, if it's a retired plant, if it's a retired plant, then there probably isn't any active uranium in there. So you're just fear-mongering for bullshit reasons.
To the ocean. Tokyo is an inland port, would require hours of additional travel time.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
Liar, liar. You can. I say this once again. Train. Late train. You put the train on the track, it go places, and it goes quickly.
And the platform would be in 2 kilometers of water depth. London, completely landlocked. Paris, completely landlocked.
Everyone, laugh at the Europeans. Landlocked. Imagine being landlocked. Couldn't be us.
Honolulu is
God.
cleared, but again, you'd be dealing with 600 meters of depth. Delhi, completely landlocked. Melbourne, well, that's an inland port, but it would require 100 kilometers travel by boat. Sydney is an inland port. Cape Town is clear. Buenos Aires is an inland port. Johannesburg, completely landlocked. San Francisco, an inland port.
We'll let Rob
Adelaide,
through this
inland
and
port requiring 155 kilometers by sea. Doha is clear. Auckland is an inland port. Athens is an inland port that might as well be landlocked.
Oh my god.
Zurich is landlocked. And Rio de Janeiro is an inland port. So, final tally on these 25 ports,
God.
6 of them are completely landlocked with no access to open water
Oh my
at all.
god.
13 that are inland ports requiring additional travel by water to get 32 kilometers clear of all shorelines,
Oh my god.
and 6 cities that are actually clear to open ocean.
You guys can feel. You guys can feel how tired I am. I'll let you guys take this one.
There's empty land near all of those cities.
Exactly. You don't have to put it on the water. You don't have to put it on the water. In fact, there's a place actually where this has been done. It's called Boca Chica, Texas. And once again, I gotta do the thing. Oh, so you mean? Oh my God. There's no way.
There were those views of IFT2 from like so close from Mexico. They were like,
Yeah.
what, 10 miles, and they were fucking fine.
Yeah, here we go. Here's Starship from Mexico. Yeah, exact. Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, look at how close these people are, and they're fine. There's no. Notice how nobody is running for their life and screaming and begging for mercy. That's because they're fine. Mexico is like 3.5 miles away. Exactly. It can be inland. It can be inland. That's fine. That's fine. And when it comes back and when it lands, it will be exponentially less dangerous because it's not fueled anymore. Like, you've seen, like, remember in the early Starship days, like, remember when SN10 like exploded, right? Remember how, like, I think it was SN11 that was right there, and how it wasn't touched. And remember how he did the whole, we'll land and that'll cover both scenarios. Like, no, it won't, because when they land and they're not fueled, nothing happened. SN11 flew less than a month later. Idiot.
Of course, seeing this, we decided to go one step further.
Oh my god.
And check how many of the 50 busiest airports in the world would qualify to become spaceports. Where the service city...
None of them would. You know why? Because SpaceX likes doing two things. They like making their own businesses, and they like making shit, and they like flying rockets. And you know what they'll do? They'll do just what Tesla did with their factories. They won't buy anything out. They'll go make their own ones. They'll go to the government directly, say, hey guys, could we have this piece of land? And if it's a government that's not America, they'll say, yes, thank you very much. And because they're going to give them $1 billion that nobody else would have fucking given them otherwise. And like, this could easily be just be a list of spaceports. Like, you don't think that there's not a bunch of land in Tokyo or somewhere that the government won't just be like, yeah, here you go fuck off and don't bother us. Like, oh my god.
If the Wolf Amendment wasn't a problem, China would jump at it immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know for a fact that the Chinese government will love some shit like this. Alright.
Is directly seaside with 32 kilometers of open sea to a suitable launch platform location.
God.
Of the top 50,
29
are completely landlocked, nowhere near the open ocean. 10 are inland ports requiring hours of additional travel time by boat to get clear of the mainland, and 11 are directly oceanfront, but 4 of them are in China. The only
But 4 of them are in China, bro.
Port cities in the top 50.
China's already working on a domestic way to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the like quote unquote landlocked ones, there's like Denver, because definitely no empty land for rocket launches in Colorado. I mean, it's just like all of those places are close to empty land.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Open ocean access in the U.S. would be LAX in the west at number 3, and Miami International in the east at number 45. And the only major European city on the list that is clear would be Barcelona.
Alright, Phazzee, people say goodbye to Phazzee for a bit. Phazzee will be back in a little bit.
Analysis, traveling by rocket will not be quicker, it will not be more comfortable, it will not be more convenient.
It will not be quicker, will not be faster, will not be more convenient. Yes, because you just lied about everything. You just lied. You see, when you lie about things, you can lie about the conclusions. Because you're lying!
It will not fly to the cities Musk promised it would, but it will be far more expensive, incredibly wasteful.
Notice how he never touched price. The whole video. He just says would be far more expensive, never does numbers on price.
And extremely risky in comparison to regular air travel, not only to the traveler, but also to any person or animal within earshot above.
So, I need to pull the video up again. Very deadly to everyone involved. It's incredible that the cameraman never got out alive. Look at that. Zoe, would you agree? Is that footage of mass carnage and death?
Definitely.
Or below the water.
I can't believe they'd let that get posted to YouTube.
And it will cause incredible environmental damage, even if it does not crash or explode. Thank you for watching this episode of the Common Sense Skeptic, and for continuing to
Thank
support
you.
our channel.
Oh, God.
We have been enjoying the steady stream of feedback, and
We have been enjoying the steady stream of feedback. Jesus Christ. Dude, you know what my favorite... You know what? I got some feedback for you, CSS. Stop defending slavery. It'd be a really good thing for you. Good Lord. Oh, yeah. We. Parentheses around the we. Oh, my God. Hold on, guys. Do not leave. We're still streaming more of this. It's only been an hour. We're gonna keep having fun.